Hello, we are live. Okay. So, what is emerging? What is going on? What are we going to do about it? These are some of the questions that I'm bringing in to this live stream and that are really present with me right now. Today, this morning, we just did the first gathering of the Men Emerging Initiative. It went really well, totally stoked. What is Men Emerging? It's a men's group, it's an initiative, it's a network of men coming together in an emergent process. So we don't actually know fully what it's about yet. Part of it is that in order to make sense of where we are, to make sense of the problems in the world, we first have to come together into communication, and we have to find a communion of communication. So that's basically the we. What is the we, and how do we get good at becoming a we together, not just on a Facebook group or a family. I'm talking about groups of people coming together in their bodies and their voices, sharing a space. And the other aspect of what's going on with Men Emerging and what is sort of the heart of my work is Dialogos, which is a practice of emergent dialogue. It's a transformative conversation in which we really lean into not knowing, and we get a felt, palpable sense of not knowing. And then we can begin to sort of explore and move and inquire in a space of not knowing. I think part of what's called for in this time is a capacity to really get clear in relationship to our own senses. What are we sensing is going on? And can we then begin to communicate our senses in an articulate way with others? That includes emotions, which of course is not part of the traditional male, certainly not of our fathers and forefathers, to be gathering together and talking about feelings. But it's not about talking about feelings, it's about a deeper form of communication. And in order for us to access the power of that communication, we have to be in deeper and deeper relationship and alignment with our own experience and articulate it. And sometimes that can lead to conflict, and that's interesting, or it can just create connection with others. So yeah, we had the first meeting today of Men Emerging, and the feeling in the space for me, without getting too much into the details because it is a confidential men's space, was that there is a need for a response to the collective circumstance. There's a sense of a need for action, and there's a lack of clarity about what to do. And so the first thing in that instance is to actually come together as a we and share that place of not knowing. We don't know what we're going to do. But there's something really beautiful in that we don't know, rather than just I don't know, I'm confused. When it becomes a we are confused, then we can start tapping into a collective field of understanding, the collective intelligence of Dialogos. And this is the power of Dialogos as a practice that anybody can do. It's a technology, a psychotechnology. It's a way of coming together with others in which the conversation becomes more than the sum of the participants. It's like you have somebody's playing a guitar, somebody's doing some drums, somebody's doing some vocals, and gradually it starts to come into coherence. It starts to come into a jam. But at a certain point, music is happening, and music is somehow larger than each of the instruments. It's taking all of the players beyond where they would be. And so this is something that we can tap into in dialogue. That's what Dialogos is. It's kind of the meeting place of sitting around the campfire and making sense of what is going on together. And it's also the coming into musical harmony with one another, coming into movement, coming into rhythm. And when we do that, we can start to draw up more of ourselves, more of our felt sense. And today I was getting a really felt palpability, I felt like I was tapping into something really real at the core of me. And I think that potential is there within us. And actually the thing that will lead to the action, whatever the actions are, and they may be very small actions, is a deeper connection to that feltness of what is real, that feltness of what is true, that logos of what can be spoken as real in the moment without knowing what is going to come next. And when we hear the logos, it animates us, it changes things. It's the experience of being in a conversation, being in an argument, being in a dialogue with somebody when something's coming through that just feels like a full expression of that person's truth. And it's going beyond them in a certain way. So, what's my hope? What's my vision? What's your vision, for that matter? What's your sense of how we respond to the complexity and the wicked problems of the world as individuals, as groups? What are the capacities that we need to respond to this time well? What are the technologies of collective mind, of collective intelligence that we need to learn to tap into? This is something that has enriched my life, but it's also something I believe has wide applicability and value for different contexts in the world, from business to men's groups to leaders' conferences. Anywhere that there is this cultivated attunement to drop into the moment, to not know where it's going, to speak into it, to speak from a place of curiosity, of inquiry, of sensing into, we can begin to tune into and harmonize with the logos of Dialogos. Dialogos means through logos. So we can develop the capacity to connect with a flow of meaning that comes through us, that animates us. And when we come away from it, as I came away from the men's group today, and as I come away from Dialogos sessions in my practice, I feel a sense of alignment. I feel a sense of attunement to what is. And it doesn't necessarily tell me, okay, this is going to be the step-by-step plan of what we do. But in the next moment, I feel ready to really look and see something new, and to notice little opportunities of potential to be opened in conversations where things are running on script and things don't feel like something new is possible. This practice, I believe, has allowed me to see those moments and to shift relationships, to shift contexts, to pull myself and others out of spiraling down into a stuck matrix of experience, a bad experience, to be able to notice it as it's happening and speak directly to it. So that's pretty much what I wanted to say today about men emerging and Dialogos. But I'm really excited about the potential of bringing these together. I think that there's something unique that can happen between men, and that there is a real need for us to revive and reimagine what it means to undergo the process of initiation into manhood. Not just taking responsibility, but coming into the fullness of our being. And I think this goes beyond the Men Emerging initiative. I think part of the vision for me is to look beyond, to connect with other groups, to connect with other individuals that are interested in this kind of transformative process, and to begin to build a web of connections and a greater we that is participating in that. So thank you for listening, and I hope you have an awesome Saturday.